Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all West Virginia students, sponsored by the West Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions happening. Be sure to check out the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, WVACRAO.org. I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters.
All right, so I just want to take some time and welcome everybody. This is our presentation on professional healthcare programs. My name is Will Bell and I'm the Assistant Director at Shepherd University, and we're gonna go around and introduce ourselves, where we're from, and what you can expect, and then we'll get started. So, Alan?
Sure, yes, I'm Alan Smith. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here at Concord, originally from the big town of Mullins, West Virginia. So glad to be here with you guys today.
Sarah?
Hello, I'm Sarah Simpson. I'm coming to you from Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia.
Hello, I'm Rochelle Davis. I'm a regional representative with the WVU Morgantown campus. Thanks for joining us.
All right, and Alan is going to get us started with what you can expect for pre-med and pre-professional healthcare programs at Concord University. Oops.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So just going to take a couple minutes to kind of go over what some of your options are in terms of the healthcare profession and in the fields in terms of what you can expect at Concord. And that's, I think, what we're all going to attempt to do is let you know what your options are at these institutions. You'll find there's a lot of cross between our institutions, and that's very cool because you can see what different places have to offer in different cultures of institutions, which ones may fit you a little bit better. But with that being said, of course, we do offer athletic training, and that involves responding to injuries in the world of athletics, more specifically during practice or at a game. And those are very important. Those people are very important in the process of an injury, so to speak, because you're the first responder. And so how you tend to that can sometimes determine a lot for a student athlete. And so there's a lot on your hands, but at the same time, they're very important people and they do a wonderful job. And that, of course, is a picture of our athletic training room. If you ever come for a visit, we'd be more than happy to take you inside and let you see the facilities and what's there to offer. Health sciences, of course, there are several different options within health sciences, pre-physical therapy. If you're looking to go to physical therapy school in any capacity, that definitely can prepare you for that. Basically learning how to rehabilitate injuries with people. And of course, exercise science, which all of these health sciences programs are very similar, but exercise science, a lot of students may go into that if they're looking to become some sort of personal trainer or work at a gym. And of course, pre-professional studies, if you're looking to go to graduate school in the health sciences of your choice, you may not be looking at physical therapy school or of any sort, but you may have something else on your mind that would prepare you for that. Wellness education, pretty much anything to do with teaching health sciences in the public schools. And of course, teacher education is our number one most popular major. And then interdisciplinary studies, basically, if we don't have necessarily the specific degree to get you toward a health sciences profession that you're looking for, what interdisciplinary studies does is it allows you to tailor make your course load, so to speak, with an academic advisor to best fit your personal individual interests and goals academically. So that's what that entails. All right, Will. So, of course, in the world of chemistry, we do offer biochemistry. If you're looking to go to medical school, that's a very good route for you. One of my favorite sayings, once again, is there's more than one way home. So that's not the only route to med school, but that is a great route to get you there. Biomedical research, if you're looking to study diseases, to help come up with cures and treatments for illnesses, that's a great route for you as well. Pharmaceutical research, and product development, of course, the legal way, but that's what that'll help you do. So you never know, you might be the one that invents a particular drug or cure for something. That program study can help you there. Chemistry, if you want to become a chemist, if you want to teach chemistry on the collegiate level, even the high school level, secondary education level. We've even sent some chemistry students in the past to law school. Not a lot, but one or two in the past. You may need to help protect someone's patent on an invention or protect their rights to a certain type of property, so that can help you there. Geochemistry is basically studying the earth and the chemical components of earth elements and how we use the chemicals or how we use the earth elements and how does that affect our environment and our atmosphere. Very close to environmental science. And then, of course, if you're looking to go to pharmacy school, which a lot of chemistry students do as well, the health sciences 3+1 pre-pharmacy is a great route for you. And just remember that all of these programs overall, we are challenging you on the undergraduate level, and the classes mirror what it's like to be in graduate school from workload to content. So that way, when you get to graduate school, you don't struggle as much as your peers do. All right, Will. Biology, of course, if you're looking to go to medical school or any type of doctor that you may want to become, whether that's a veterinarian, whether it's an MD, optometry school, chiropractor, you name it. Those are just a few that I listed. They're not all the options that we offer, but biology is a great route to get you there. Once again, you can also do chemistry, but biology is probably the most common route. If you don't want to go to medical school, you don't have to do that, or you don't have to become some sort of doctor. We can send you to graduate school of your choice or employment right after graduation, and that's what the liberal arts degree is kind of designed to do, to give you more of a general approach to biology as opposed to a focused approach to get you toward medical school. Pre-physical therapy, of course, once again, we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier, but also that does involve occupational therapy, kind of like day-to-day rehabilitation of injuries and disabilities, so to speak, to help people get to wellness. All right, Will. And these are some of the labs that we have on our campus, which you have access to as an undergraduate student. Once again, I think there are many things that you experience in those labs and in those classes that most students don't have access to a graduate school, or normally don't have access to. So there's that'll, I think, really, really help you out, especially within that first year. There are a lot of things and a lot of projects and experiments that you'll do that you'll already know how to do. And I think that can give you a leg up when you do go to graduate school. So. And if you come for a visit, we can take you to some of those labs. This is just a partial listing, once again, of some of the graduate schools that we've sent students to for the health sciences fields. Definitely by no means is it comprehensive, but as I was talking to one of our biology professors the other day, in terms of getting into school, if you can get through the program here at Concord, you definitely won't have a problem getting into graduate school. So they're going to challenge you, but at the same time, they want to make sure that you are ready for that next level. So those are the things we have to offer here at Concord. Of course, once again, I'm Alan Smith. That's my contact information, and feel free to reach out to me if you ever have any questions or concerns. And I'll pass it on to Sarah.
Thank you, Alan. I am Sarah Simpson, coming to you from Marshall's College of Science. So this is where we help prepare students for admission into professional healthcare programs after graduation. So I'm referring to programs in the following areas. I want you to notice that there are several things that are missing from this list. These programs are also offered at Marshall, but not in the College of Science, such as nursing, communication disorders, medical imaging, medical engineering, dietetics, clinical lab sciences, exercise physiology, athletic training. So those are also at Marshall, but you'll need to look on the website for information on those majors. In the College of Science, we are preparing students with a scientific background to go into these graduate programs that are listed here. The ones with asterisks are the ones where we actually have the graduate program here in Huntington affiliated with Marshall. So what majors am I referring to? I'm referring to majors such as biology, biochemistry, chemistry, and math, physics. We do have, I would say, the majority of our pre-med, pre-healthcare students major in biology or biochemistry because the curriculum includes all of the classes required for entrance into those graduate exams or programs. Each of those programs has a unique set of required courses. So it's important to take the right sequence of courses to be prepared for the entrance exams and have a well-rounded application. So our College of Science has a staff of full-time professional advisors to help students both get ready for that next step and to earn their degree. So as I think about the things that make Marshall a standout in healthcare education, 3 things come to mind. The first would be Marshall's professional healthcare graduate programs, our School of Physical Therapy, our School of Pharmacy, and our School of Medicine, which houses both our medical school and our PA program, physician assistant program. So our science students are accepted all around the country into different graduate programs, but our local schools are interested in training West Virginia students and retaining them in the workforce down the road. So as a West Virginia student, you will be given consideration as long as you meet the minimum requirements. We are looking to keep you here. So our professional schools have pathway programs and early assurance programs and summer academies to attract you. They strongly work with our undergraduate students, and I would strongly encourage you to look into our BS to MD accelerated program if you're interested in pre-med, if you're a junior in high school. That is a fast track to medical school that includes a full ride scholarship to medical school. So second, I would think of Marshall's student organizations. We have clubs that cover all different areas of healthcare, and we have academic and honors fraternities. And this gives students an opportunity to develop leadership skills, to work with admissions officers in these graduate programs. And so they'll bring in speakers. The students will travel as groups to visit different schools, and they will look for service opportunities to participate in together. And the third thing that comes to mind are Marshall's research opportunities. We are nationally recognized as an R2 research institution, so we have the funding and the facilities to make real advances in science and healthcare. Some current research areas include breast cancer, stem cell, diabetes, and heart disease as it relates to obesity, which is a common issue in our state. So Marshall's willingness to include undergraduates in this research is something that's fairly unique. So feel free to take a look at our website to look more in depth into our majors, and you could reach out to our recruitment office for a tour, and you can contact me. I'm an academic advisor, so you can contact me if you have questions about any credits that you have from high school, any dual credits, or any college courses you'd like to take before you graduate to see how they would fit in to a major here at Marshall. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Again, my name is Will Bell, and I am from Shepherd University in the Eastern Panhandle in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. So some different things that we do offer here at Shepherd from a pre-professional program standpoint. We do pre-med, pre-dental, and pre-vet. Usually those programs are biology or chemistry majors, as Alan and Sarah both said. Those are usually the two most popular programs that our pre-med, pre-dental, pre-vet students do. The biggest difference between our biology and chemistry programs is that biology usually does not require calculus, whereas chemistry does require calculus. So if math isn't necessarily your strong suit, then biology may be the way to go. I'll touch on physician assistant as well. So for physician assistant, it's a little bit different of a career path than becoming an MD. That career path is requires a little bit less schooling. It also maybe doesn't require on you after you graduate, after you get your PA degree. It doesn't require as many hours per week, so you're not necessarily on call all the time like doctors are. So if you still kind of want to have a little bit of a work-life balance, physician assistant may be the way you want to go. Pre-pharmacy, usually chemistry major. Okay, sorry about that. I think I lost my internet connection. So pre-pharmacy students are usually chemistry with a biopharmaceutical science concentration. We have a couple of agreements with WVU, Marshall, and Shenandoah University that allow you to earn your PharmD in 7 years. So it takes a year off from the normal 8 years that it may take to get your pharmacy degree. The other cool thing is those programs will actually hold spots for our students. So if you know that you want to go to one of those 3 schools, you can work with your advisor when you come to campus and say, I'm interested in WVU, Marshall, or Shenandoah University in their pharmacy school, and they can get you on the correct pathway for that. For physical or occupational therapy, and this applies some to physician assistant as well, health promotion and exercise science is an opportunity for you that's going to give you a lot of hands-on experience in our human performance lab. So you get to work a lot with current students in our general education phys ed department and our Fitness for Life course. We have a couple of internship opportunities with local physical therapy offices, and then we offer, that's the pathway for athletic training as well. So if you want some hands-on experience with athletic training, you can work with our full-time athletic trainers in our athletic department, work with football teams, softball, baseball, basketball, whatever it may be. You can get some hands-on experience there as well. So why should you choose Shepherd to do your pre-professional pathway? You have dedicated advisors. So these are advisors that will work with you, make sure you're doing everything you need to do for the dental school you want to go to, making sure you're doing all of the standardized test preparation that you need to do, if it's MCAT or for dental school, vet school, whatever it may be. Very small class sizes. So very small class sizes in your labs. So we try and keep the labs very small so that it's only about 12 to 15 students or so. So you get hands-on experience, you get to work with all the equipment, do all of the experiments. You have to do a research project if you're a biology or a chemistry major. We've had students who've done research and presented that research at various conferences. It's usually done in conjunction with one of the faculty members that we have. We have faculty members that, one of them grows on breast cancer tumors and tries to kill them. One of them tries to take out toxins in water using foam. So there's all types of different opportunities. And then we have some other internship opportunities as well. The National Institute of Health is about 45 minutes away from our campus, so we have students that have done internship opportunities there. We've also had students that have done internship and research programs at other universities. So we have an opportunity for you to do paid research at another college or university. So you can write your own grant, usually again working with your advisor, and they will help you write your grant so you can get paid to do research at a school that may be closer to home for you. And you can, again, do your research and then potentially present that at a conference. And the last thing that I will touch on is something that's pretty unique to Shepherd. It's called the MedStep program. And this this also coincides with the dental school at WVU as well. So the MedStep program is a program that we have agreements with at Marshall and WVU in their schools of medicine. So the MedStep program, essentially, it can guarantee you an interview at one of those schools. You have a dedicated advisor from one of those schools, making sure you're doing everything that you need to do for their program, making sure you're maintaining a good GPA, making sure you're doing all of your MCAT prep. And this is somebody who is not Shepherd faculty. This is somebody who works at WVU or Marshall. And they will work with you, make sure you're doing everything that you need to do to get into those schools and those programs. And then as long as you maintain the GPA, as long as you get the scores you need for your MCAT, it guarantees you an interview and you have an opportunity to get into that school. You don't need to be a West Virginia resident for it as well. That's something that's unique. And again, it applies to the dental school as well at WVU. So if you know that that's where you want to go, we can work with you and you're hand chosen by those faculty at WVU or Marshall. And you sit through a special class and go through various things with them. And then I will show you a couple of places that we've had students go. Johns Hopkins, WVU, Shenandoah, and this is just a small list. There is no vet school in the state of West Virginia, so you would have to go out of state for that. If you decide that you want to go to vet school, and you want to go somewhere in the southeastern part of the country, you may want to look into something called the Academic Common Market that does apply at the graduate level. So if you go to a school that participates in that, you may be eligible for their in-state tuition. But again, that's something that you would need to work with their admissions office at that point when you have decided that you want to go to vet school. So there's my contact information if you have questions about anything. And also, if you do have questions, feel free to ask them in the Q&A. We'll be happy to get to them at the end of the presentation. So I will turn it over to Rochelle.
Hello again, coming to you from WVU. So you've heard several times this evening or this afternoon that there is no one particular major for pre-professional programs in healthcare. You can find your own fit. You can choose just about any major. And as long as you're taking a science-heavy curriculum, a major that requires a lot of science courses, then you're going to be prepared for medical school, dental school, PT school. You're going to work with your academic advisor. And at WVU, we also have a pre-health professional development office. That office will work with you. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but that's another resource for you in addition to your academic advisor. You're going to want to pursue a major that you think you'll enjoy because you're going to want to get a good GPA. I think, as Will suggested, a good GPA translates into a good candidate for medical school. You can see here some of our pre-health majors, our popular ones. At WVU, we have 14 different colleges and schools. And that first one is CPAS. That's our abbreviation for the College of Physical Activity and Sport Science. One of the majors in that college is health and well-being. And there is a pre-health profession track in that program and that major. Music and health is a new major in our College of Creative Arts. That's a little bit different. We're finding that a lot of students want to pursue their passion or continue a passion for music, but they also plan to go to medical school or physical therapy school and so on. And so that major is designed for that purpose. In our Davis College, we have a major in animal and nutritional sciences. That's ideal for someone who wants to go into a medical profession, but that's also the recommended major and a great one for someone who wants to go to veterinary school. And we also have what's called the Davis-Michael Scholars Program to support students on that pre-vet track, both academically and financially. From WVU, 73% of our students who apply to veterinary school are admitted, and that's well above the national average. So again, we have that track that we highly recommend. It's animal and nutritional sciences. You can see there's several other options: human nutrition and foods, biochemistry crosses between our Davis College and our Eberly College. Of course, we've talked about biology and chemistry several times already. In our School of Medicine, exercise physiology is a popular major for students going into PT or medical school, dental school. It's also the recommended major for someone who wants to pursue our physician assistant program at WVU or athletic training. Again, it's a large major because it does fit so well. It has all the requirements built into the curriculum, as does immunology and medical microbiology. What you might find a little confusing is that WVU, when we refer to the School of Medicine, we have undergraduate majors in the School of Medicine as well. And so those are two of those 4 undergraduate degree programs. Our Statler College of Engineering offers biomedical engineering, so you could go in to work in the industry, or you may want to pursue medical school from there. So why would you choose to come to WVU? We have a medical center on campus. Ruby Memorial Hospital is a level 1 trauma center. We also have a neuroscience center, a cancer research institute. We have a new children's hospital. Again, that's right on campus. Many graduate programs are right on campus. In addition to medicine, we have a dental school, pharmacy school, the physician's assistant program that I mentioned already. So those are offered, with the exception of veterinary medicine. Most of the medical professional programs are offered right on campus. You do have research opportunities. We are an R1 research institution, so you can work with faculty members with their guidance to conduct research. We have some students right now who are Beckman scholars at WVU, so they're getting substantial funding for their projects and for travel. And one of the students is working on fungi, researching fungi that treats Alzheimer's and migraines, which is very interesting. So all sorts of opportunities that you have. Experiential learning, so that's learning by doing. You can shadow, you can volunteer on the medical campus. And our students in the exercise physiology major do have access to the human cadaver lab. So that's why that undergraduate program is such a popular one for students going into a medical profession. Of course, we have student organizations that are tied to different majors and healthcare professions. Again, the Pre-Health Professional Development Office, some of their services include pre-health group and individual advising. They have seminars, they offer mock interviews, and they'll help with applications. So helping you prep for the MCATs and the different tests that are associated with admission to medical and other professional schools. We do have the pre-med pipeline program that Will mentioned. We also, in addition to Shepherd, we work with Waynesburg University to admit students into those pipeline programs. Again, not a guaranteed admission to medical school, but often early assurance or guaranteeing students an interview. And then we have the Eastern and Charleston campuses. In addition to our Morgantown campus, we have medical campuses in the Martinsburg area and in Charleston. So for students who would want to do their clinicals or their rotations at other locations throughout the state, those are options. Here's a listing of our graduate and professional programs that are on campus. I mentioned some of these already. I didn't talk so much about nursing earlier, or this evening we really haven't talked much about nursing because it's typically considered an allied health program, but we do have advanced degrees at WVU for the nurse practitioner program, or a nurse who would want to pursue anesthesiology. I mentioned the physician's assistant program. We also have audiology and speech pathology, occupational therapy. If you would want to be an assistant to a medical examiner, we have the pathologist assistant program. So you can see we have a lot of opportunities right on campus at WVU. I've listed these contacts not because I expect you to write down all of that information this evening, but just so that you'll know that we have a lot of folks available to help you. Again, that Pre-Health Professional Development Office, Dr. Sanchez and her staff can help you connect and prepare for medical or professional school at WVU or wherever you would want to go to school. They're not limiting your search to WVU strictly, so they'll help you no matter where you want to go. WVU School of Medicine, Lindsay Pekosh, she works with our students who want to pursue medicine at WVU, but also occupational therapy and physical therapy, the physician assistant program. We have Lauren Walmsley, who works with students students who specifically want to attend WVU School of Medicine. And I think probably all of our participants tonight are West Virginia residents, and you may be happy to know that we do give preference to students with ties to West Virginia for our School of Medicine. We have a recruitment specialist in the School of Pharmacy, Public Health, and the School of Dentistry. So my contact slide is next, and if you want to reach out to me, I would be glad to answer any questions you have and to connect you with those other resources, those other individuals on our campus who can answer your questions and help guide you in your pathway. So thank you, and I think we'll turn it back over to Will.
So now if anybody has any questions, feel free to go ahead and type them in the chat. But if nobody does have any questions, that's all the information that we have for you. So just really thankful for everybody to come out and who signed up and is participating today.
Well, we did have a question earlier, and you may not see it now, but it was about what major should I pursue if I want to go to occupational therapy school?
Yes, I did not see that. So I know for us, and we can go around the room, and I'll go ahead and start. For us, it can be biology is usually one, or the health promotion or exercise science program at Shepherd is a good one for occupational therapy. A lot of the requirements for most OT schools are similar to physical therapy schools. So that's one good one, exercise science, biology. The biggest thing I think is just telling your advisor what you want to do and what your career goals are. And they're going to be the ones that will tell you, if you're in the right major, if they think you should change the program of study that you're in. So Alan, do you want to go ahead and talk about that real quick?
Sure. I mean, really just about ditto to what Will said. Pre-physical therapy, is what would initially come to mind, which is very heavily biology based, as many of these programs are going to involve a lot of biology and chemistry, because occupational therapy involves a lot of rehabilitation processes, sort of speak, and therapy processes. So those all work together. And just kind of as a side note, a lot of people who major in athletic training end up going to physical therapy school. I can't tell you how many of my friends that I went to school with and have seen come to Concord after, I graduated that did that because they had the necessary requirements to get into physical therapy school. So anyway, but yeah, Sarah, would you like to go next?
I would agree with you. At Marshall, many pre-OT students go with our health sciences major in the College of Health Professions because that major has a lot of room for approved electives in it. And so at that point, like in the second and third years, fourth years, the students can look toward the schools where they plan to apply and make sure they're taking the necessary prerequisites as part of that. My husband happens to be an occupational therapist, and his undergraduate degree was in Parks and Recreation. So that just goes to show you that these professional schools aren't so tied up in what you majored in, but just that you've taken the right sequence of courses. So you do have some freedom to choose things that you're interested in and think you will do well in. So.
At WVU for occupational therapy, the recommended major is probably exercise physiology because it meets all the requirements. But certainly if you wanted to pursue biology and you really enjoyed biology, I think that would be a good way to go. So you'll often hear that it's probably the recommended major of exercise phys, but certainly not the only choice for OT.
And then we have a question here, and Sarah, if it's okay, if you would answer this one. How early should an entering freshman be speaking to someone about medical school?
I think it's important to reach out to your academic advisor at your very first meeting and share with them your career aspirations. And we are aware that those may change over the years, and we're happy to adapt with you and get you pointed in the right direction. But there are things that you need to be doing alongside the coursework in order to provide a well-rounded application. So we would be suggesting volunteering opportunities, leadership opportunities, shadowing and research, getting to know professors who can write you letters of recommendation. So it's never too soon to start. And one other thing to keep in mind is these graduate programs will be looking at your legal record. So you need to, from the time you start college, and especially as you enter the adult years, you need to be making sure that you're making wise choices from a legal perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point about the legal perspective, because if nursing is something you're interested in too, in order to get to do clinicals for nursing, you do have to pass a background check as well. So making sure that you're making the right choices is always important. And then here's a question. Alan, if you want to answer this one, would it be wise to major in something specific involving biology or just having a plain biology major?
Well, I believe it may depend on specifically what you want to do as an occupation, and I don't know if you might be able to type that in the Q&A chat, but I would, if you know that you want to go to medical school, I would try to do a track that is specifically geared toward pre-professional biology, so to speak, or biomedical sciences. Not saying you can't get to med school with a general biology degree, because you can, but I think what that'll do is you'll, along with your advisors and the track that you're following, they're going to make sure that you are doing certain things at certain times throughout your 4 years here to prepare you for med school, because there's some other things that they may go over with you outside of class, such as preparing for the MCAT or VCAT or whatever test it is that you're going to take, learning how to get your resume ready for medical school or grad school, learning some job interview skills, some graduate school interview skills, and they'll do some practice runs with that. So there's also some things in addition to your classes that I think they can help you out by following a specific pre-medical track. But that would be my personal suggestion. And if anybody else wants to piggyback on that or provide a different perspective, definitely feel free to do so.
All right. Did we get all the questions answered?
I think there was one more, a couple more. One, someone asked if we provide radiology. Here at Concord, we do not have radiology. I'm not sure about the other schools.
At WVU, we don't have a radiology major, but the hospital has a training program, and students can use financial aid for that, and they can get certification, or if they want to pursue an associate's degree, we do partner with Pierpont Community and Technical College, or the hospital does, I should say. So if you'd want to contact me for some additional information, I can send you program information and contact for that.
Marshall has a medical imaging program that is in affiliation with a local hospital here, St. Mary's. So you would start out as a Marshall student and apply for the medical imaging program. So.
And we do not do radiology at Shepherd. If you were looking to do something like maybe radiology technician, I would look into something at maybe a local community or technical college as well. They might have a rad tech program. And then we do have a couple more questions. Rochelle, here's one for you. Would your music and health major be recommended at WVU? And what would be some majors I should take to become a surgeon?
So yeah, to become a surgeon, of course, you'd want to go to medical school. And if you have an interest in music, or you're proficient in music and want to continue that interest, then that would be a good combination. And I could put you in touch with Dr. Schwartz, I believe it is at WVU, who could provide you with some more information. But yeah, manual dexterity. So if you play an instrument, that's great for dental school or for someone who wants to be a surgeon. So that might be a really good choice.
I think we have time for one more. Has COVID changed anything involving your ACT or SAT score? And I know for us at Shepherd, we are test optional for admissions purposes, but we do require ACT and SATs for scholarship opportunities. So Alan, do you want to answer for?
We are test optional for fall 2021. And basically if you have a 2.5 in your core classes or a 3.0 overall, if you have either of those two, then we can admit you without the test score. And even our base level scholarships will begin at a 3.0, but the next tier of scholarships will require a test score. And we know that's tough for you to get to that, the test. So that's why we've amended it. At the same time, I think everyone in here would heavily encourage you, if you can, to take the test. And being a West Virginia student, you want to shoot for that promised scholarship.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
Well, I'm not sure where Marshall stands specifically on test optional because I don't work in the recruitment office. I work with admitted students. But I will say that we do use those test scores to place you in your science coursework. So it's important that we understand your math background and your math abilities so that we can get you started in the pre-med, pre-healthcare science courses.
And at WVU, we are test optional as well for the fall semester. Although, as Alan said, if you have an opportunity to test, we recommend it because your scholarship opportunities are going to be greater. We do have scholarships for test optional students, but of course, Promise and then our departmental scholarships and our automatic merit scholarships are going to be higher for students with test scores. We have a math placement test that we can administer to help place you in math without test scores, however, if that should be necessary.
All right, so that's all the questions that we have. Thanks again for everybody coming out today. If you do have a question, you can submit it now and we can respond to it at a later date. But thanks again for everybody coming out today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, just a few housekeeping things here. Thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at WVACRAO.org. In a week, you'll be able to find this session's recordings as well as all the other session recordings at WVACRAO.org. Thank you.